It's time to get inside the Giants huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there, let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome to another edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast. From now until training camp, we'll have a series of player interviews. We've split them up by position to kind of give you a feel of where this Giants team is heading into training camp of 2022. Just as a reminder, you can find the Giants Huddle Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms, on the Giants mobile app, and at Giants.com/podcasts. Today, we're going to chat with the Giants offensive line and start with their third-year starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas. And now we're joined by Giants starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas. Andrew, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Now, I know you're kind of in the process here with the end of the offseason program in the spring, trying to come back from that injury that really nagged you all year last year. Mm-hmm. Where are you at, and do you think you'll be ready to go for training camp?
Yeah, rehab is coming along pretty well. I'm doing everything the trainers asked me to do. Definitely moving a lot better, and I'm prepared to be ready for training camp.
What was it like trying to deal with that last year? Because it seemed like every week, foot, ankle, Andrew's going to play. Andrew's going to play. Then eventually, I need to take a little bit of a break here to get this thing right. What was it like trying to just fight through that, really going back to camp throughout the year?
Yeah, definitely frustrating, but it's part of the business. Learning how to navigate, being injured, because you're never going to feel 100%. But I felt like last year I started to make some strides, and it's a little frustrating sometimes when you can't be on the field with your teammates.
Do you feel like now the work you did last year and then this offseason, where it's finally going to be right now and eventually this is going to be an issue that's not going to pop up anymore?
That's the goal, making sure I'm taking my time with it, not rush, and making sure it's close to 100% when I'm back on the field.
Now, has that prevented you from doing a lot of the offseason you would like to do on like your technique and stuff like that, or have you been able to do that along with the rehab?
In the beginning, not really, but I'm starting to do a little bit more indie stuff like that, just to work my technique and stuff like that.
What were some of the things technique-wise that you really want to try to improve on and get better on this offseason?
Just consistency in my set, making sure I'm taking the right angle, making sure my post foot is square to the line of scrimmage, things like that, and then just working my hand placement, and then also just learning the new scheme and how our new coaches, want things to be done. Well,
how much different is what Bobby Johnson's asking you is based on what you've done in years past?
Yeah, the technique is a little different. He likes a little more of an angle set, square to the line of scrimmage. He wants us to take, be the aggressors in pass pro, get into the defensive end and making them, make a move, as quick as possible, things like that. So looking forward to it, but I've definitely been working on those things.
So rather than getting really deep in that set, it's more short set, stuff like that?
Exactly, more on the angle.
Do you think that fits more your skill set?
I think I can do both. I think having a change-up is good because if you do the same thing all the time, they can time it up. But having a good change-up is good.
The narrative with you, Andrew, is that, something kind of clicked for you at the end of your first year.
Yeah.
Do you think that's accurate? Do you think that too much is made of that? How did you see your own progression since you've got here?
Yeah. Early in the season, my rookie year, definitely had some struggles, some things I had to work on, like with my post foot and staying inside out, not oversetting, things like that. And then around the bye week is when I started to understand it a little better, and I think you could see that on film.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, last year, where do you think you made a jump from year one to year two? Was it just consistency, or were there specific things you think you got better at?
I think it was one, consistency, and then just understanding the position a little bit more, like as far as like understanding what rushers are looking at, if that makes sense. Like if they're timing rushers, are they reactive rushers, things like that, and understanding how leverage works as far as hand placement and depending on who you're going against.
What are some of the things you've learned about playing left tackle in the NFL week to week, different rushers, their strategy? Like you said, kind of reading their motions. What are some of those little things that you really think you've learned and you're still trying to continue to get better at?
Yeah, like if you put someone on film that's not good, it's going to come up again if you don't fix it. And that's one thing I learned really quickly. If you don't fix something, they're going to take advantage of it. And then next thing is just how much of a chess game it is. A lot of times, we look at measurables, how fast or how strong someone is, but when you really get down to it, it's the technique that makes the biggest difference, I think.
How much will it help you if this season they do get a consistent left guard next to you, so you're actually playing next to the same guy every week?
Yeah, across the whole offensive line, continuity is a huge thing. And this year we had some vets come in that we're in the system in Buffalo, so that I think that will help us, just picking up the system and learning it, but playing together, getting snaps together makes a huge difference, I think.
if we get the health part right and you get, the experience obviously is there and you continue to improve, do you think this could be a Pro Bowl caliber year for you?
The goal is to be as best as I can. Obviously, I have some personal goals, but like you said, being healthy for the whole season is definitely top on my priority list right now. And hopefully, after that, all those accolades come later.
What are some of the different things that this offense and Bobby Johnson's maybe having your group do that you haven't done quite as much of the last couple of years?
We do a lot of NASCAR, if that makes sense. It's like basically one-word plays, and we know the formation and everything, but it's basically to put stress on the defense. And that's something that we're learning a little bit, but I think once we get it down, we can be explosive.
I know one thing you guys didn't do a ton of the last 2 years was running a lot of outside zone.
Yeah.
Just knowing what the Chiefs did and what the Bills did, and that's where Kafka and Dable are from. That was a huge part of what they did. Is that something you guys are working a lot more this offseason?
Yeah, we're working outside zone as well, but I think we'll see what type of run team we're going to be in camp because it's kind of hard right now without pads on. And right now we're installing everything, but we'll see, once the pads come on.
What have you been able to learn about your group without the pads on, before you play, real football?
I think we have a pretty tight-knit group already. We haven't been together long, but I think everyone seems humble. Everyone is working hard. We're kind of like putting away the past, like whatever happened where you're from, that's over where we're starting fresh, and I'm looking forward to it.
What has it been like working with young Evan Neal coming in?
Evan comes to work every day so far. You can tell he's eager to learn. He's asking questions. Strains his gut in practice. You can tell he's going to be a good player.
Big kid, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you reminded him about the national championship game this year a couple times since he showed up?
Nah, I ain't saying that to him, but it's coming.
Hey, it's not often you get bragging rights over Alabama. When you do, you got to take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
Are you excited about what this offense can show? Like just what you've seen on the practice field. Like what do you think fans should be prepared for when they kind of watch this offense this year?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. We have so many talented guys. If we can get the ball to them in space, I think we can, have a pretty special offense. So I'm looking forward to it.
Is it going to be, you think, power run game? Is it going to be more pass-oriented? Like, what's your feel for what it's going to look like?
I'm not really sure right now. Still trying to get a feel on it. Like, we throw the ball a lot, but we also have our runs and then our RPOs and stuff like that. So I think we'll be pretty balanced. Like, whatever we do well, I think we'll do a lot of that. Can
you guys really get a feel for that yet? Or is it, like you mentioned, is it really you have to get to camp when the pads get on, when you can really start figuring out what this team is going to be?
Yeah, it's tough to figure out the identity right now, especially as an offensive line, just because we can't come off the ball right now. So we'll see in training camp.
So what were your goals and what did you guys accomplish as an offensive line without the pads in the spring so you are ready to hit the ground running in the summer?
Just technique and understanding communication at the line of scrimmage, like the mic points, the different combinations and stuff like that, the different short calls. That's the biggest thing right now.
What has it been like going up against these crazy fronts that the defense has been showing you guys in practice? Has that been fun? Is that just going to help you guys be ready for the season?
No, it's definitely going to have us prepared because many teams don't blitz like Wink and that defense does. We've already had to make some adjustments to some of our pass pro and things like that just to pick it up, but seeing that week in and week out when we play other teams, there's nothing that they're going to show us that we haven't seen.
Does it drive you guys nuts you can't put hands on these guys as they're coming after your quarterback in practice in the spring?
For sure.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Andrew, good stuff, man. I really appreciate it.
You.
Best of luck this year, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we're joined by Giants center Jon Feliciano. Jon, how are you, man?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
It's good to see you again. So how has it been being a full-time center here? I know that was your goal when you came here, and it seems like that's what you're doing. So how has it been?
It's been great, man. I know a lot of this offense already. So just picking up where I left off, where I was before, and helping the guys here to get this offense down. There's a lot of things, a lot of code words, a lot of one words. And I think we're doing a good job so far. So I'm excited to be here and excited of how things are going so far.
You talk about the code words and the one word. So is that just a lot of memorization that these guys have to do?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's, probably over 300. Yeah, you got to play fast.
I imagine. So how has it been? Have you been almost like part teacher with this offensive line group a little bit the last 3 months?
Definitely a little bit. But these guys have done a great job of really honing in and learning these things. It's a little easier for a lineman. You can put a couple of plays in the box, and
sure.
These plays mean this play for us. We don't have to worry about where to line up. We're going to be in the same spots every time. So it's a lot easier for the O-linemen, a lot harder for the receivers and tight ends.
You have that blue-collar attitude and toughness to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sense that from the rest of this offensive line group? Are you guys going to play with that edge that you need to be an effective group?
I think so. I mean, I knew Mark. Me and Mark came out the same year. We were in the East-West Shrine game together, and me and him are very similar type people on the field.
Shane is too, I think, right?
Yeah,
Lemieux,
yeah. A little Frenchie. He's like a little Chihuahua. He's him and that mustache. But yeah, he's a little fiery guy.
How about the kid, Evan Neal? He seems like kind of like the quiet giant type, but do you sense an edge there too?
Yeah, definitely. He's doing a good job being a rookie, just doing the work and not talking too much. You know what I'm saying? But no, he's been dude. That dude is so big, and he don't look 350, 360, whatever he is.
I'll tell you, I tell this story all the time. I'm at Indy at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
I see this dude walk up to the podium,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, he measured at 340 pounds." I'm like, "He looks 290.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous."
Yeah, his upper body is like, I tell him he has grandma legs, but
He's skinny.
yeah,
It's crazy.
everywhere's skinny except around his knee area, upper thighs. He got grandma legs.
I'm sure he likes that. What have you guys been able to accomplish? Are you happy with where the group is here at the end of the off-season program? Look, I know you can't hit. There's no pads yet, so you can only do so much. But are you where you think this group needs to be so you're ready to rock and roll when you hit training camp in August?
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Sure.
I think we've done a good job getting the drills that Bobby's coaching, get them down. So, so when you're in practice, you're not wasting time learning a drill. You don't get too much time in individual, so you kind of need to make sure we get the drills right, and so you're practicing the right stuff, and learning the offense. I think we've done a good job of learning the offense as a group. Like I said, there's always room for improvement, but I believe we're doing a good job so far.
And then the fun starts when you actually start hitting all these blitzers in August, right? Because you can't touch them now, but in August you can actually do something about
I know,
it, right?
Yeah. Wink is Wink. He's going to bring everyone from everywhere. But that's been good work for us. Yeah. For me as a center, I talk to Wink a lot before every practice, and I'm just like, what do you got for me today? It's just this is probably going to be the hardest things we see all year, Wink's defense. So it's been great.
John, good stuff. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Giants season tickets are on sale now for the 2022 season. In addition to ticket savings, membership benefits include access to exclusive events, experiences, pre-sales, and more. You can lock in your seats starting at just $100. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit Giants.com/tickets for more information. Now we're joined by Giants offensive lineman Nick Gates. Nick, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Now, you were with Paul a few weeks ago. We talked all about your rehab and everything, so we're not going to necessarily get into that. What has it been like working with, Bobby Johnson and this new offensive line group?
It's awesome. I haven't really got to work with him much just because I've been, rehabbing and doing that process. So I haven't.
You're
really
in the meetings, though, right? Or
no, I'm in
yeah,
meetings.
right.
Yeah, I'm in meetings and in there, and it's good. I like him. He's a good coach. I like the way he's coaching so far and what he brings to the table and things like that. So.
Seems like a pretty energetic guy, huh?
Oh no, definitely no. He's young enough to run around and do it all that, but old enough that we respect him and everything like that.
How has this group come together? It seems like, just talking to you guys individually, it seems like it's a good mesh of personalities.
Yeah, no, I really feel like, at first, there's always that little, you first come in for OTAs is a little weird just because we had, basically almost a whole new room. I think it was, I'm the oldest guy in the room right now, or, oldest, tenured guy that's been with the Giants.
It's funny how fast it goes, isn't it?
I know, right? And it's only been going on year 5, but... So it was weird, it's kind of like a whole brand new room, but it is what it is. I think we're all getting along good. Everybody's kind of figuring each other out. It's going good.
What are Mark and Max and John and all those new guys like that you've been working with on the inside?
They're good. It's good to have them in the room. I think they're year 7s and 8s and stuff like that. So it's always good to have those older guys, and they bring more stuff to the table. They just have more knowledge of the game. They've seen everything. They just they can answer your questions. I feel like. And because they've seen everything. I
feel like John's the guy that might start the first fight in training camp based on his toughness and his attitude, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I think I mean he's like that, but I don't think he's too with it, too out there with it.
I'm not saying he's looking for a fight, but things happen.
No,
guys get a little too physical.
No, he's definitely going to be there if something's there. I can tell you that. That's just I've seen him play before, and the way he plays. I feel like we kind of play the same way. So,
what are the responsibilities like for center in this offense? Is it more or less than what you've done before in terms of protections? What are they asking of that position?
It's about the same. It's about the same. You just got to tell the 5 guys or the 4 other guys what to do, and just kind of be on the same page as the quarterback. And it's a lot more memorization this year and things like that. But once you get that stuff, it's pretty not too difficult. You just gotta, just the different looks you see and stuff.
I was Matt was here and Shane was here, and they were telling me how Bobby tries to make it simpler for your group and to understand what you have to do in each play. But the wide receivers are telling me, like, man, this is complicated.
Oh no, they have to what the wide receivers have to learn compared to what we have to learn. It's crazy. Like they just it's. I can see how it's difficult for them. So just it's a lot they have to memorize.
Is the playbook fun though?
No, definitely. I mean, so far from what I've seen, it's coaches Dable and they're really creative, and they definitely want to score points, and that's their as long as we have the football, we're going to try to score points no matter what it is.
Now, you mentioned it. This is your 5th year. Surprisingly, that means you've been through 3 different head coaches before this year. So another new year, another new feeling and vibe in the building. But what has it been like with Coach Dable here and kind of getting a feel for how he wants to go about things?
No, it's good. It's good. Everybody's still trying to get used to each other and see how everybody reacts to certain situations and things like that on the field. But we're still learning each other, still trying to get used to each other. But it's good so far. I like it. I like what I've seen.
It seems like it's a good balance between being relaxed and having fun, but when you do work, you better get it right, or there's going to be hell to pay, right?
That's the nice thing about him. He just, you could have fun, you could do what you want, but when it's time to go on the field and got to do your job, you got to know got to know what you're doing, and you got to know your job. If not, he's gonna get in your butt. But as long as you know what you're doing, he's fine with it.
Nick, before we say goodbye, just kind of give the fans an idea of just what this whole process has been for you personally, trying to get through this injury and obviously slowly make your way back, just from a personal, emotional standpoint, however you want to attack it. It just seems like a really harrowing ordeal. Like how many surgeries? I don't even know how many surgeries. I need to have more than one, but just how this whole thing has kind of gone for you.
No, it's been tough. So I had 7 surgeries altogether. So I've been going through it. It's been tough. It's definitely learned a lot of patience. Learned to just it kind of is what it is. It was a freaky injury. There's nothing I could do about it. I mean, maybe if I can get hit with the move I got hit with, and maybe it was probably a little bit better the second before, but I really can't control what happened, and it is what it is. I just gotta keep fighting, keep getting stronger, and try to get back on the field.
Have there been some tough moments for you to keep going, where you have to kind of push yourself, like, no, I can't give up, but
no, definitely, there definitely is. It's tough. There's I always think the next step's harder, and it keeps just getting harder and harder. Just the closer you're getting to, you just seem so far away. It kind of seems sometimes, and you just gotta, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days, and you just gotta push through it sometimes, and it just is what it is.
Is the light in the tunnel getting a little bit brighter at this point? A little bit?
I think so, a little bit. Yeah, I think so. It's just kind of hard to tell. It's just been a slow process, and you gotta take it just one step at a time. You can't look too far forward, and you can't look behind, and you just got to keep going.
It's basically, and it's almost valuing the process, right? Because you might be doing the exact right thing and not see the results for 2 or 3 weeks, right? So it's just a matter of trusting what they're telling you to do and just doing it.
No,
right?
Exactly. Right now I'm just trying to get strong and get back to where my baseline was, which I feel like I'm almost there. And then once I get there, I just got to feel like got to turn it on and just start doing drills and just starting to get the football movements and things like that, and learning how to do them again almost, and just becoming strong again in my legs.
Well, I know you've talked about this, but we had Richie Seibert here. He's a guy that did it. We saw him came back. He was great. So we're all rooting for you. We know you can do it, and we hope to see you back on the field.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Nick Gates. And now we're joined by Giants offensive lineman Shane Lemieux. Shane, how are you, man?
Good to be back.
So I know offensive linemen have kind of a love-hate relationship with the spring session because you get to get on the field, which is great. You get to build chemistry. It's great, but can't really hit anybody.
Yeah.
So how's it been?
It's been good. It's obviously missing last year. It's good to get my feet back underneath me and get rolling, doing football movements again. But at the same time, OTAs doesn't involve shoulder pads, so it's not real offensive line stuff. But at least we get to work on like fundamentals and stuff that we can do without pads and without contact. And just being around the guys is the biggest thing right now. Getting to know the new teammates and getting to learn the new scheme.
Can you get into some detail as to what some of those specific fundamentals are that you guys can work on together?
Yeah.
So you're ready to go when training camp comes and the pads do come on?
Yeah, the biggest thing right now is Coach Bobby, he wants us to be aggressive and to set the pace. We want to be the aggressors, especially in pass protection. We want to play physical, nasty, and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty similar techniques from like previous O-line coaches and all that, but the biggest emphasis, I guess, is just being more physical and, take the charge rather than, not be patiently waiting.
Were you able to work on the football fundamental stuff you wanted to this offseason while rehabbing the injury, or did that set you back a little bit?
No, I really didn't get to do football stuff until I got here. I was honestly just my goal was to get to this point for OTAs and be healthy and be ready to go. So I wasn't really able to do much. The last half month or so before OTAs, I was able to start running a little bit and doing stuff just to be able to, I just wanted to make sure that by the time I got here, I was ready to roll.
No, and that makes perfect sense. So what were some of the technique things and fundamental things you were trying to work on to become a better offensive lineman this year?
Just having your hands right in the pass protection, low pads, stuff that from day one as a little football player, you're taught, pad level, striking people, running your feet, staying balanced, all that kind of stuff. So it was really just go back to the fundamentals for me because I hadn't played football and, I missed 16 games last year. So really I just kind of want to start from scratch and, not really have any bad habits or anything like that.
Now, obviously, we don't know what this year is going to look like, but if you look at what the Bills were and the Chiefs were, where Brian Dable and Mike Kafka came from, it's going to be a lot of passing with the Giants. So pass pro is going to become a big factor for you guys. So where are some of the things in pass pro where you're really trying to take that next step?
I'd really just want to be able to be confident in my pass set and be able to throw my hands and land them, and just being really detailed in my approach every single day. And the biggest thing with that too, with passing that much, is we have to be really in sync as an offensive line and really be on the same page with our set angles and all that. So
Shane, good stuff, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Nice. And remember, folks, go check out Shane Lemieux. He did an interview with Paul Dottino a couple weeks ago. Check that out. Went a lot more detail, but we're happy to have him again. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you, guys.
Now we're joined by Giants offensive lineman Jamil Douglas. Jamil, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. So what has it been like, getting used to this offense and learning it over the course of the spring?
It's been fun. Obviously, I have history. I was with Buffalo for a good amount of the season last year with Dayball and Bobby Johnson. So it's been fun, meshing with these guys here and, seeing the progress that we've made since we've been here in April.
How helpful has it been to, you're here, you had experience here, so did Jon Feliciano, right? But you guys trying to get this offensive line up to speed to exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, that room is full of smart guys, and a lot of guys that work their tail off. So it's been good to, like I said, since we've been here in April, guys, seeing the progress that we've made in the offense and seeing how guys are communicating and picking things up, it's been a fun time.
Where do you think you made the most progress? Because obviously, look, it's offensive line play. Yeah. You're not wearing pads. You can't hit.
Yeah.
So what have you accomplished over the past few months?
I think the biggest thing for me was, coming in and getting something out of this offseason. Whether that's in the weight room or in the classroom or applying it to the field, that was my thing. I wanted to, make sure that I'm making progress. So every day I came in with 3 things that I wanted to improve on, and at the end of the day, I could sit down and say, okay, did I do this? Whether it's communicating with certain people or, being all 100% on my assignments, that was my biggest thing. So every day I try to come in and improve on something.
How about the group? How have you been able to build – everyone talks about, the offensive line you have to work as one. It's continuity. It's chemistry, all those buzzwords that everyone throws out there, right? Yeah. Well, how do you build that and in the spring when you're still not doing, like, really big football stuff yet?
I think it's through – whatever you may be doing at the time. If it's working out, offensive linemen are working out together. If it's running, we're running together. In the meeting room where no one's, you got to have that environment where no one's scared to speak, and that's been the biggest thing. Like a lot of even the young guys have been, very attentive in the meetings, and it's a fun group to be around. A lot of guys that work hard and a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, and the young guys are catching on quick, and that's exciting to see.
How would you describe Bobby Johnson's coaching style?
I love Bobby Johnson's coaching style, to be honest. He's going to challenge you, and that's what you want from a coach. He's going to, every day he's going to challenge you to improve on something. He's going to challenge the group to come together as an offensive line and to be those guys that lead, whether it's a good day or a bad day. He wants us to, come out and be those guys. So I love his coaching style. It brings the best out of players, and I'm excited to work with him this year.
Does he have a nickname for you? I know he's been throwing nicknames out.
He's got a couple nicknames. Yeah, he's been calling me He's been calling me Hang Time lately because he sees I'm trying to grow dreads out. So he calls me Hang Time, but he's got a couple nicknames for me. I won't say them right now.
See, we got a basketball hoop. I thought maybe you were dunking. That's why you're Hang Time.
No,
no?
maybe 200 pounds earlier for sure. Yeah, not nowadays.
Now, you've been working mostly at center, right?
Yes.
Have you been doing some stuff at guard too, or has center been your primary focus?
I've been working a little bit of both. That's a big thing that they preach is versatility. So I've been doing a little bit of both, been spending time at center and guard, and just trying to come out and compete and get better at it every day.
Technique-wise, what are you trying to kind of improve at and trying to refine your game with?
It's really, to me, it's about fine-tuning the things that I feel like I do well, and understanding what I've struggled with in the past and trying to correct those things, whether it may be hand placement or being efficient with my feet. So those are the things that I've been focusing on this spring.
Anything specific to this offense that offensive linemen really need to be effective at in order to be successful?
Well, just the mental aspect of it, honestly. There's a ton of up-tempo play calls in it, and when you're physically exhausted, that's when your mental tends to go. So, a lot of guys got to be able to lock in mentally and fight through those times.
Yeah, wide receivers are telling me something's just one or two words, and you got to know everything, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's the verbiage is definitely it's different than most offenses I've been a part of. But like I said, we got a lot of smart guys in this building that have been picking it up pretty well.
Jamil, good stuff, my man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it. Jamil Douglas, thanks for being with us.
Yep.
Don't miss your chance to experience a premier hospitality experience watching Giants games and world-class concerts in 2022 as a Giants suite partner. Limited full-season locations are available, or place a deposit for individual games. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit giants.com/suites for more information. And now we're joined by Giants offensive tackle Matt Peart. Matt, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm seeing you walking around. I don't see a brace.
Yeah,
How's the rehab going, man?
Rehab's going great. I'm liking the progress that we're making, but, just taking everything day by day, step by step, and just making sure that I do what I need to do to get back.
Now, your injury was later in the year, obviously,
Yes,
so I'm sure you're anxious to try to get back as quickly as possible, and I know you don't want to put a date on it and things like that, but what are you thinking about timetable? Are we thinking start of the year, maybe a little bit longer than that? In your head, what's kind of your goal?
I mean, for me, I'm just so anxious, especially, with OTAs and everything going on. You see the guys flying around. You just really want to go out there and just be with your brothers all day. For me right now, it's just every day is its own battle. I'm really just trying to conquer each day, making sure that I optimize the day so I can make that time shorter in the long run. Yes,
I'm sure you talked to a lot of people about what rehabbing an ACL was going to be like.
Yes,
Did it match the description? How has the process gone for you?
Oh, very true. I mean, talking to guys that have previously had the injury, like, Blake, he's been helping me through this, TJ Brunson, even Rodarius, talking to those guys, like having them, give me what worked for them, just taking bits and pieces and fine-tuning my own rehab process has been instrumental to me to where I'm at right now, because I feel good. I feel really good for where I'm at right now, and I'm just looking forward to it. Not there yet, but like I said, every day is just its own little battle, and I'm just trying to make sure I conquer those days.
Have you been able to work on technique stuff while you're doing the rehab? Has the knee prevented you from working on some of the football technique stuff? How have you been able to kind of balance those two parts of your off season?
So I'm not 100% full go, but within rehab, because playing offensive lineman, it's described as one awkward position to another awkward position. So within our rehab, we've kind of embedded movements that would simulate an offensive line movement.
Your kick, things like that.
Kick, stuff like that, power, moving, twisting, and torquing, all that type of stuff. So from that standpoint, that's why I'm saying I feel good for where I'm at right now. And like I said, not there yet, but we're working on it, and I feel very confident.
Now, you had a lot of playing time last year. You had a lot of
sir.
reps. Where did you want to try to make the most improvements coming off last year so you would become a better offensive tackle?
Overall, just wherever I got my opportunity to go on the field just to showcase my skill set and ability. First it was initially at right, and then they moved me to left. And then from right then and there, it was just like I just wanted to make sure that when I got on the field, I just went out there and just did my showed that I could compete.
Anything special, anything specifically technique-wise this offseason that you're looking forward to working on and fine-tuning a little bit?
Overall, just becoming a better student of the game. Like we have a new coaching staff, and it's a new set of knowledge and wisdom when it comes to the game of football. And like it's just that's why I'm so anxious, because like you have this wealth of knowledge and experience in the room with vets, coaches, and it's just kind of like you just want to put it all together, put your pads on, like I have on right now. Like I'm getting jitters, you know what I mean? Like you got me in my pads right now, you know what I mean? I just want to go out there and just go play and just have a good time, with my brothers, because there's nothing like O-line play, honestly, nothing like it.
And it seems like Bobby Johnson's a lot of fun, huh? He's a character.
Yeah, OG, OG Bobby. Yeah, he's a great guy, great coach. He coaches us hard, but at the same time, it's just like it comes from a place of such love and care, because first day walking in, you could tell that he really just cared about everybody in the room, and that's just a testament to him to show that how much he wants us to, how much he wants to see us have success.
So what has it been like getting to know Evan Neal?
Evan Neal is a little quiet. He's kind of an old soul. It's kind of like he's kind of very, very old soul. Like it's a lot of old school music. We haven't had much time to really spend time with him, because the rookies, they end up staying here a little bit later for rookie player development and stuff like that. But on the field, like he's working at it. You can tell that he has a passion, desire, and the will to get everything done, make sure he gets everything right. And he's a great kid.
Now you're a big guy, so maybe you didn't have this reaction, but when we went to Indy to cover the combine, right? And Evan Neal walks up to the podium to do his media availability. And I look at him, I goes to him, I go, how is this guy 340 pounds? Yeah. He's built like an NBA power forward, right? Doesn't he carry it well? It's kind of crazy.
He definitely does. You can kind of see that's shaping the new way of the league, this new era of like big skinny dudes. Like you walk past him, you never know he's like 340, but he looks like he's 300. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's testament to him and how he holds himself and how he works.
Now, you've been through a couple different offensive line coaches since you've been here. Anything different in terms of how they're teaching you guys your technique under Bobby than maybe what you've done the last couple of years?
Yeah, every O-line coach has what they believe in and what they really want to harp on and what they feel like, what works for them schematically. From Bobby, it's kind of like he tells us what he wants. He, in practice and individual, he kind of showcases like, this is what I want to get done, and it's up to you as a player to take what you did in individual and in meetings to go on the playing field. And he's every O-line coach has their different ones.
Now, the one thing you guys didn't do a ton of last year was run a lot of outside zone. But if you look at what the Chiefs did last year with Mike Kafka, right, what the Bills did last year with Dable, they did run a lot of outside zone. Is that something you guys have been working a lot on this offseason to try to incorporate more of that into the offense?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about with the wealth of knowledge of everything. Just like, you kind of see, how each coach views different things when it comes to playing football, and it's just kind of like, having that is just like really, really like, exciting and new, and it's fun. So we're just gonna. Sorry, that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, by the way, folks, if you're hearing it, we're recording this minicamp week, and this is where they do all the stuff with the video boards at the stadium. So guys have to yell, "Let's go!" Blake, I think that's Blake, because Blake's very loud all the time, so I think that's Blake. It's okay. So if you guys hear any grunts or cries in the background, no one has been harmed in the recording of this podcast. Don't worry about it.
No one's been harmed. No, not like that at all.
Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you now. Just how much fun do you think this offense is going to be? People talked about the tempo and all that stuff. Like, do you think it's just going to be a lot of fun to play in?
Oh, for sure. You can see it. I mean, me, not being able to go, like I'm on the sideline watching, you can see it's just a whole new energy. Guys are just really willing and ready to compete because, everything's from a competitive nature. And I really think that we're just getting back to that. It's fun to watch. That's why I say I'm so anxious, because I want to be a part of it so bad. Saying we get there for sure. But yeah, new energy, new vibes. Everything's beautiful.
Now, I had a couple wide receivers here talking to me, and they said, this playbook's thick. And it's like one word. We got to know like 3 different concepts or just one word. Is it the same way for the O-line? Is it like a real complicated thing for you guys too, or is it a little bit?
I can see how the receivers would get that a little bit for sure. I mean, I'm not in their realm, but I definitely could see how, for them it could be like they have to be on it 24/7, especially for the offensive line. For us, like I said with Coach OG, he kind of keeps everything very simple for us. Something that could be very complex, he tries to break it down to like this the ABC. So like, we were able just to go there and play fast. So for us, for me, from how Coach Johnson has done it, doesn't seem as complex. It is complex, but he keeps it simple for us.
Well, that's a sign of a good coach.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Matt, great seeing you, man. I
Great
appreciate
seeing
it.
you too.
Matt Peart.
Yes, sir.
Now we're joined by offensive lineman, rookie Josh Ezeudu. Josh, how are you, man? It's good to meet you.
Hello, I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's great to be with you. So how great has it been to have your running mate Marcus with you as you guys try to learn life in the NFL, together coming from UNC?
First, it was crazy that we are here still, and it's very fun, and it's just like I'm just thankful too to like have someone I know that we talk a lot. We're real tight, so I'm just happy.
It's funny, we were talking to him and he said, you guys are almost trying to translate together, right? You're trying to take what they're teaching you here and you say, all right, well, what does this mean in Tar Heel language?
Yes.
Is that kind of what the process has been like for you?
Yes. Oh, yes. And it's like it's also good for us all because like we have like two minds, in one. So like if he has issues, then like I can like explain it to him in a way he would know, and like he can also do the same thing too for me. So it's very good to have.
Yeah, it's almost like he makes the mistake, but you learn from it, right? You make the mistake and he learns from that.
Yes.
So it's almost like you have two guys working the same problems at the same time, which I imagine probably speeds up the learning process a little bit.
Yes, it does a lot. It does a lot. Like we are starting to like learn it like more faster now.
How's it like learning from Bobby Johnson?
He's a great coach and he's a great teacher too. Like anytime we have a question, like he knows how to explain it in a way that like we would understand, and that like helps us a ton. So it's nice to have him too.
Final question then. What are you I don't know if you're going to go back with him, but what are you going to work on with Marcus and the rest of your guys in these 6 weeks from the end of the spring program where your offensive lineman are just killing you. You can't hit anybody. You got no pads. You're just running around.
Yes.
So you're ready to go. So when you can actually ply your trade and do your thing in August, what are you trying to do over these next 6 weeks to make sure you're ready to go?
First of all, be more comfortable with the play book, and then after that, do all of the drills that we've been learning now. Work on the new technique. We have learned like every day, just more reps and reps and reps, because the only way you can like start to feel more comfortable with something is by just continuing to do it. So more reps at it and just stay in shape, especially football shape too.
Josh, thanks, man. Nice meeting you, dude.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, too.
Welcome to Big Blue.
Yes.
Now we're joined by Giants rookie offensive lineman Marcus McKethan. Marcus, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. And today's been a great day. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so you're almost through the off-season program here in the spring. How has it gone for you? What has it been like being in the NFL?
Oh, it's just been a great learning experience, getting to connect with so many guys you idolized as a kid. So just getting to talk to them, learn more about the game, it's just been a great experience.
Was there anyone here when you guys were actually like, I want to meet this guy. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, just like Saquon, for example. Like, just superstar. You just got to meet him.
He was a great dude, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just a real chill, just nice guy.
So how is the offensive line meeting Rubin? You have some nice grizzled, tough veterans in there.
Yeah, got some veterans in there.
Have those guys been showing you the ropes a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. They're looking out for the young guys. They definitely trying to teach us and like teaching us how to be a professional. So I'm just trying to soak up all the knowledge that I can.
Coming out of college, what do you think your greatest strength is that you feel most comfortable doing heading into the pros?
Like off the field wise, I feel
on
like
the field. On the field.
I feel like just being able to move people in the run game. So I feel like that's gonna be one of my biggest strengths.
How good has it been having Josh with you coming out, where you guys can kind of compare notes and learn these things together? Because you're both are kind of trying to translate languages the same way, right? Trying to figure out what you did at UNC
exactly.
applies here.
Yeah. So I feel like we kind of talked the same language before at UNC. So coming here, we're just trying to like bouncing it off each other and helping each other learn this new system. So it's helping a little bit, yes.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in terms of trying to get this new system down?
I probably see this as a little bit more complex than what I'm used to. So just learning that and just getting used to it. So it's just not having to think so much and just be able to play on instinct.
Now in college, I imagine you guys are hitting a lot more in the spring than you are here.
Yeah.
So has it been weird trying to do all this stuff where you can't actually touch anyone?
I guess it was a lot. I think we said a lot in college, but it really becomes apparent now. Like as a professional, it's just learning how to practice. Just know how to take care of your guys, how to stay up, and how to do the things the right way.
Where do you think you made the most progress since you stepped in the building to where you are right now?
Technique. I feel like definitely just technique in general. Just learning how my coach wanted us to do it and just applying it.
What's Bobby Johnson like?
Just footwork, just go at the guys, just get on them, be aggressive.
You enjoying it?
Yes, sir. It's a great experience. Like I said, can't take nothing from it.
Have the vets had you do any rookie hazing yet, or not quite?
No.
Nothing yet?
No.
All right, that's good.
Just be respectful. Go get the bag, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
What are your plans now for the next 6 weeks before you come back to make sure you're ready for training camp?
I mean, just keep preparing, keep being in my playbook, conditioning, and just make sure I'm prepared and ready. Time camp comes.
Well, we look forward to seeing it. Marcus, good stuff, man. We appreciate it. Thank you, man. Now we're joined by Giants offensive lineman Max Garcia. Max, nice to meet you, man. How are you?
Nice to meet you as well. I'm fantastic. Having a great day.
All right, so what has the last few months been like for you, and what do you think your group has accomplished throughout this offseason program getting ready for training camp?
Man, these last 2 months have been so productive. I can honestly say it's the most productive, efficient offseason program that I've ever been a part of.
Really?
Yeah, just coming in, whole new system. Everyone pretty much is learning the offense. I feel like it's been night and day since when we started. So I'm really, really excited about what we have going on as an offense and as a team in general.
What is it about the way Brian Dable and Bobby have gone about, Bobby Johnson, your offensive line coach, have gone about their business that's made it so efficient?
We come in every day. Well, they come in every day, and everything is so goal-oriented. Everything has a focus and a mission, and we know exactly what we're learning that day. We know exactly what the goal is for that day and what we're going to be practicing. And I think that's something that, you don't see everywhere. The details really matter. So for them to be able to, kind of emphasize that and to be able to coach it, and then for us to go execute it as players, it says a lot about them and their coaching styles and just their ability to coach us.
So much of offensive line play is grit, chemistry, attitude, toughness, and a lot of that is stuff that it's hard to put into a guy. Guys to have that inside of them, right?
Right.
Do you think this group has those intangibles inside of them to be a very effective unit?
Definitely. I think we have a lot of different characters on the offensive line, a lot of different personalities, but I think when we all come together, I think we all play, well, and we still don't, have everyone, all our guys, and we still don't know what the mix is going to be. But I can tell you, whoever's going to be out there is going to be dependable. They're going to be smart, and they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough as nails. So that's the father's going to be out there. But whoever is backing them up, you're gonna get the same thing. So that's the kind of coaching that style that he has, and that's what he emphasizes on his players. Just tough, smart, and dependable.
Max, good stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. And go back if you want more from Max. You can go listen to the interview with Paul Dottino a few weeks ago. It's on the Giants Huddle podcast. Thanks,
Yes,
Max.
sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Great conversations. We thank the guys for joining us on this episode of the Giants Huddle podcast. I'm Jon Schmeelk. Remember to stay tuned, folks. Make sure you go back into the archive, find all the episodes. It's really good insight from all these players. They give you a really good feel for what this Giants offensive and defensive systems are going to be and where the team is heading into training camp. I'm Jon Schmeelk. Stay tuned to the Giants Huddle podcast. We'll see you next time.